All right, it's detail time. So this is my 2001 325 Ci BMW. It's a coupe. I actually bought this car brand new back in 2001 in February of 2001. So this car actually, I took really good care of this car, particularly up until about 5 or 6 years ago. It was a garage kept car. I just wanted to quickly show you. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to keep it in as nice shape as I wanted to, as I used to. It has to, unfortunately, it has to sit outside now because of all my other cars. But just wanted to quickly show you the interior. A little dirty, you can see. I'm a big stickler when it comes to interiors, and this is driving me crazy. I need to clean this out. I just don't drive this car that much anymore. I'm actually going to start driving it a little bit more. But the reason for this video is actually I want to detail it, and I wanted to just give you guys a few tips on what I do to detail my car. And funny thing is, a lot of people think like particularly these, obviously the door jams, the door jam area. It's like, why clean it? No one sees it. But the cool thing about it, that at least for me, is that to me, it makes the car feel new when you know and you put in the effort to clean up the car. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get some new love for this car. Again, like I said, unfortunately it sits outside, so I'm gonna start cleaning it up. But yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys a few pointers, and then just kind of show you what I do, so that like I said, just kind of I always say a great way to fall in love with your car again is to put some time into it and clean it up, and you'll definitely love it again. So just a kind of quick detail. So when I bought this car, I think I was about to turn 24 years old. So I'm 45, about to turn 46. So it's actually March of 2023. So this car is actually just turned 22 years old. And funny thing is, most people, when they look at it, they can't tell, particularly the interior. It suffered some unfortunate bumps and bruises. It was actually stolen one time. I left my garage door open, and unfortunately the guys came inside my house, got my key, and took off with my car. I got it back, but it definitely had some damage. But it's an automatic. Unfortunately, that's one of my biggest regrets when I bought this car. I was funny stories. I was into Honda. I still am. I was into Hondas and imports, and I was actually going to buy either a 2001 Integra Type R or a 2001 Prelude, Honda Prelude. And my brother actually convinced me to buy this car. So this was a car. It was basically $10,000 more than what I was planning to spend. I had a '96 Honda Accord that I bought brand new as well. Actually, I got it for a high school graduation gift. Graduated in 1995, and my parents bought that for me. But unfortunately, I got into an accident in that car, and I was looking for a new car, and I thought I was going to actually, kind of get out of the immature phase of, into cars, and this was going to be my, present to graduate from that. So I did pay $10,000 more than what I was planning to. And one great piece of advice that my brother gave me was, he said that this was definitely a car that once you buy it, you'll never really outgrow it. And that's one thing that really stuck to me, particularly when I was buying the car. It's like, certain times when you buy something, I always, many times you're always looking for the best price. And I will say sometimes it's better to spend the extra money. So funny thing is, I will say, I did take care of this car. This car has just over 100, I think it's got about 122,000 miles. So I did take care of it. I did have a winter car that I used to drive. Here in Maryland, it snows and, during the bad weather. So I did pamper it. But funny story is, like, when I drive it, I do not feel like I'm driving an old car. I don't feel like I've outgrown it, kind of feeling like, hey, why are you still driving this car? I still love it. But like I said, once I put some more love back into the car, I have no problem daily driving it, and I definitely feel. Of course, the Type R, I would have loved to have had that car. It might have gotten stolen. You never know because they were highly stolen back then. I will say I would have probably outgrown the Prelude. I mean, maybe I would have just downsized or downgraded that car for maybe more of a fun car, and then maybe got a nicer, newer car. But ever since I bought this car, I've never really had the feeling of going out and buying a nicer car. So most of my other cars, all my other cars are manual transmission, and they are all used, and they're all older cars. So I've never had the feeling of, hey, let me go out and buy a new car to replace this car to feel like I'm back into where I should be as far as for my age and my profession and where I am. So that's one thing I will say. But like I said, I'll quickly show you. So I do have my E36 BMW wheels on here because the car sits. And unfortunately, you see the damage here. This was part of the damage that happened when I bought the car, or I went to the body shop, and I told them not to repair it. So they didn't really. They damaged the car, some interior and exterior, but I was able to really fix all of it myself. So those some bumps and scrapes. I actually had to replace the front bumper, and unfortunately someone hit me here and broke the front bumper. So I got a ZHP bumper that I'm probably going to put on it. The headlights still look pretty good. Here's another funny thing is that you can see the black mist on the hood. So I was actually working on one of my other project cars at the time, and I was painting something, and I needed to move this car. So actually, I don't think I was going to move the car, but I put the paint behind this car, and then just randomly I was like, well, let me just move this car out of the way. Oh, that's what it was. I was going to paint, and I was like, well, let me get the car out of the way. And this was last minute, and because I didn't want to get any paint on it. So I hopped in the car and I started backing out, and then all of a sudden I see this big black mist of paint, and I saw like it spray up while from the driver's seat, and it got a little bit on the windshield, and I came out here, and this whole headlight all around here, everything right here, and and even the bumper, it was all black, and it obviously sprayed mist. This was probably back in like 2009, 2010. Yeah, I would say actually maybe even 2011. It was right around the 2009 to 2011. So this funny thing is I tried to get this stuff off. It never came off. Never bothered me enough as far as like I didn't want to get it repainted or anything like that. So what I did is I took the headlight out and I cleaned all of it. I had to clean some of the fender as well, and then the bumper here. It was all black right around here. So I did that. So as far as the other damage that I had, I don't know what happened here, but when I got my car back when they stole it, there's like a real sharp dent in here, and I was like, I didn't want to change the door, so what I did is I found this right around the same time. I found this this sticker, so I put the sticker on there, and no one really ever noticed. So this part back here on the back of the door here got damaged, and even back here got damaged. But funny story is, this damage right here was done by someone else. A girl was door dashing, and she backed out into my car. I parked it in the street underneath a tree to protect it from the heat, and she damaged even more. So she hit my car. She hit this area again. So this has been hit twice. And then another thing is, like, you see this scrape here. That scrape, that was during the theft. It was crazy. I took out all the interior and cleaned it all up. But yeah, for the most part, it's not bad. But I wanted to kind of quickly show you. Guys what I do here. So like I said, I like to clean these kinds of areas. So what I do is I got my car wash here. I've got my citrus spray here. I always come out with a few gallon jugs. I mean, obviously you can use a hose, but I usually just use these. And one thing that I really like I don't like wasting. I mean, like I said, you can use a hose, and and obviously spray. But this was one thing that I found I like using these mustard ketchup bottles. I use these to clean my my bathrooms, even in the house, and this kind of controls how much water you use. So really cool thing about it is it doesn't waste a lot of water, and it keeps one thing also I like to do is I like to use that because I don't like to spray in the in this area and then the from the mist going into the car. So this works really well. I highly recommend this even for cleaning in your bathroom. And then I've got my brush, this is real soft bristle brush. This is what I use to clean soft metal surfaces. It's just soft surfaces. And then I have a soft bristle toothbrush. So these are the main things. And then I have this for I keep a waste bucket so that when I'm cleaning and this gets dirty, I just dip it, I'll just dip it in here and clean it all up, and then put some soap on it. And so usually what I do is obviously I start off with this. This is good because it doesn't really take off the wax and things like that. This is very soft soap. If you use dishwashing detergent, it's very harsh. It's obviously meant to break down grime and all that, oil and grime. You don't need that for something like this. You want something softer. So yeah, so then I first start with this, and then I start with that. But then, like I said, what I do is I'll just spray. I usually get my my mustard, and I'll just kind of this is kind of what I'm saying is here you can control how much how much water is being used. When you get up in these crevices, it's really not it's not spraying water into the car and things like that. So I do that, and then so obviously just be easy. You don't want to scratch this area, and then I do the same thing. Like when I clean, I make sure I clean in these areas here as well, and I get underneath here. See how all of that's dirty down there. So I pay real particular, and I mainly use this this blue brush underneath here. I try to make sure I get into all the crevices and things like that. So yeah, like I said, I mean, these are just these. I do these in stages. So I'll usually start with the crevices like I do the door jambs. I'll do the back trunk area. I do underneath the hood, the rails near the fenders. I usually clean those first. And then after I'm done with cleaning all that, like I'm going to clean in these areas here for the side skirts. There's as I said, my car's set, so it's got more of that, like that moss mildew, I guess. I don't know, maybe some mildew, but it's that green, it's got pollen that cakes up in there. So I like to get it really into and even in here I'll use this toothbrush here to clean in the corners, to make sure that I get in everything. I'm actually probably going to take off the bumpers too, and take care of those. And then also here, this is another place that you'll want to clean up. So I already actually took out my my tail light. I took my tail lights out to clean behind there. So yeah, so just I thought I'd give you a quick little tip. But as I said, I think this works really well when cleaning the door jambs and things like that. It doesn't waste water, and it keeps water from going in. All right, I hope that helps some of you guys out. All right, bye.